What if I told you that the secret to making any woman crave you isn't hidden in dating apps, flashy cars, or scripted pickup lines, but in two simple words written nearly 2,000 years ago by Marcus Aurelius? These words don't just change how women see you, they change how you see yourself. They hold the key to unlocking a magnetic presence that women feel instantly without you saying a single word. For centuries, men have been chasing external validation, status, looks, money, believing that's what women truly want. But Stoicism teaches a deeper truth. Women aren't drawn to what you have. They're drawn to who you are. When you embody these two words, you stop chasing approval and instead radiate the quiet confidence and inner strength that women can't resist. In this video, I'll break down how these two ancient Stoic principles, once the fortress of emperors, can transform your dating life, not through tricks but by shaping you into a man of unshakable value. By the end, you'll understand why attraction isn't about trying harder. It's about becoming the kind of man women naturally crave to be around. Point number 1. The Stoic secret behind unstoppable attraction. What if I told you that the most magnetic quality you could ever develop as a man has nothing to do with your bank account, your jawline, or the car you drive? What if the true source of attraction, the kind of attraction that women feel deep in their bones, comes from something entirely internal? This is the Stoic secret behind unstoppable attraction. It's not a trick, it's not a line, and it's not a game. It's a way of being. And once you master it, you'll never chase validation again, because women will start chasing you. The illusion most men live under. Most men today are trapped in what I call the external game. They think if they just earn more money, build more muscles, or dress in the latest trends, women will finally give them the attention they crave. And sure, those things can spark short-term attraction, but they never last. Why? Because women aren't just evaluating your looks or your status. They're evaluating your center. They're asking themselves, often subconsciously, does this man need me to validate him? Or does he already validate himself? The truth is, no amount of external success can cover up internal emptiness. If you don't know who you are, if you don't have control over your emotions, if you don't have a clear sense of purpose, women will feel that instability immediately, and instability repels them. The Stoic shift, turning inward. The Stoics, especially Marcus Aurelius, understood something men today have forgotten. They believed that true strength and therefore true attractiveness begins within, not in the applause of the crowd, not in the trophies of achievement, but in what Marcus called the inner citadel. This inner citadel is your fortress. It's your core self, untouchable by the chaos of the outside world. When you build it, you become grounded. You stop flinching at rejection. You stop needing approval. You stop bending yourself out of shape just to be liked. And that, ironically, is exactly what makes you magnetic. Because when you no longer chase validation, you radiate calm, strength, and self-assurance. Women feel it instantly. They sense that you don't need them, and that makes them want you even more. My story, from neediness to centeredness. I learned this lesson the hard way. A few years ago, I was dating a woman named Sarah. On paper, everything looked fine. I had a decent job. I worked out. I dressed well. But something was off. I was constantly second-guessing myself. I'd ask if she liked my outfit. I'd overanalyze every text message. I'd replay our conversations in my head, worrying if I said the wrong thing. I thought I was being attentive, but in reality, I was suffocating her with my neediness. And eventually she pulled away. That's when I stumbled across Marcus Aurelius's writings, and one line hit me like a thunderbolt. Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of trouble than your own soul. Retreat into your inner self. I realized I was seeking peace, validation, and strength outside of myself when the Stoics had been telling me for centuries that it had to come from within. So I began the work. Daily reflection, journaling, asking myself, am I living by my own values? Am I choosing my actions, or am I reacting to win approval? And slowly, something shifted. I stopped trying to please Sarah. I stopped anxiously fishing for compliments. I stopped needing her attention to feel like I mattered. The crazy part? That's when she started chasing me. She'd text first. She'd cancel plans with friends just to spend time together. One day she even said, "You feel so different. More centered. Be more sure of yourself." That's when I understood the Stoic secret. True attraction starts when you master yourself. The core elements of inner mastery. So what exactly makes up this inner citadel, the fortress that creates unstoppable attraction? The Stoics outlined several key elements. 1. Self-knowledge. You must know your values, your strengths, and your weaknesses. A man who doesn't know himself is unstable. But a man who does, he projects quiet confidence because he isn't pretending to be someone else. 2. Emotional regulation. Life will test you. Traffic jams, career setbacks, relationship conflicts. Most men get rattled, but the Stoic man remains calm under pressure. That steadiness is deeply attractive because it signals strength and reliability. 3. Internal validation. Instead of measuring your worth by likes, texts, or attention, you measure it by your own standards. Women feel the difference immediately. When you don't need their approval, they feel free, and that freedom draws them closer. 4. Purpose-driven living. The Stoics lived for something bigger than themselves, and modern women are drawn to men who are going somewhere, men who have vision, direction, and inner fire. These 4 pillars form the bedrock of the inner citadel, and when you embody them, you radiate a strength that women crave, not because you're chasing them, but because you've become a man they naturally want to follow. Why this creates unstoppable attraction? Here's the paradox most men never realize. Attraction isn't about effort, it's about essence. When you try too hard, women feel desperation. But when you embody self-mastery, women feel something completely different: safety, excitement, and curiosity. Safety because you're not unpredictable or needy. Excitement because you're a man with depth and purpose. Curiosity because you're not trying to win her. You're simply being you. And that mix, safety plus excitement, is the exact formula that creates long-lasting attraction. A challenge for you. So here's my challenge to you. Stop chasing external markers of value. Start building your inner citadel. Spend 10 minutes a day journaling your values. Practice staying calm in small daily frustrations. Catch yourself when you seek validation, and instead affirm your own worth. Pursue a goal that matters deeply to you, not just one that looks good to others. Do this consistently and watch what happens. Not only will women start responding to you differently, but you'll feel different, more solid, more grounded, more alive. The Stoic secret behind unstoppable attraction is simple but profound. Become the kind of man who doesn't need anyone to complete him. When you stand strong within yourself, women will feel it, respect it, and be drawn to it, because at the end of the day, true attraction isn't about tricks. It's about character. It's about embodying the timeless wisdom Marcus Aurelius captured in just 2 words: inner citadel. And when you live from that place, you'll discover the kind of attraction that doesn't fade after a few dates, but grows stronger with time. Point number 2. How 2 ancient words unlock magnetic masculinity. What if everything you've been taught about masculinity, about what makes a man desirable, respected, and unforgettable, could be captured in just 2 words? 2 ancient words written nearly 2,000 years ago by an emperor who ruled the most powerful empire in the world. Words that, if you truly understand them, could unlock the kind of magnetic masculinity that women can't resist and men can't help but respect. Those 2 words are inner citadel. At first glance, it may sound poetic, maybe even abstract. But once you break it down, you'll realize these 2 words hold the blueprint to becoming the man you've always wanted to be, and the man women instinctively crave. Why masculinity feels lost today? Look around. Modern masculinity is under siege. Men are told to be sensitive but not too sensitive, strong but not intimidating, confident but never cocky. And in trying to balance all these mixed signals, most men end up confused, reactive, and powerless. This confusion kills attraction. Women don't crave uncertainty. They crave clarity. They crave the man who knows who he is, where he's going, and what he will or won't tolerate. And this is exactly why Marcus Aurelius's words matter today more than ever. The inner citadel is not just an idea. It is the formula for unshakable masculine power. Breaking down the 2 words, let's unpack them. Inner. This represents your foundation, your relationship with yourself. It's about building self-mastery, emotional control, and purpose from within. When you're complete inside, you don't collapse under pressure. You don't chase validation. You radiate calm, grounded strength. Citadel. A citadel is a fortress, a stronghold that cannot be invaded. In the context of masculinity, this means boundaries, principles, and standards that protect your integrity. It's the ability to say no, to stand firm, and to walk away from situations or people that don't respect you. Put them together, and you get the masculine archetype. Every woman instinctively craves a man who is both deeply grounded within himself and unshakably strong in his principles. Story: Marcus and the Boundary Test. I saw this come alive in my friend Marcus, not Marcus Aurelius, but a modern-day guy with the same spirit. He was dating a woman who had a habit of canceling plans at the last minute, assuming he'd always be available whenever she decided to see him. Most men would have tolerated it, hoping to avoid conflict, but Marcus didn't. He had built his citadel. Calmly, without anger, he told her, "I value my time and I value our plans. If you can't respect that, then maybe we shouldn't be doing this." At that moment, he didn't care whether she stayed or left. He cared about protecting his principles. And here's what happened. Instead of pulling away, she leaned in. She changed her behavior. She started valuing him more. Why? Because women test boundaries not to break them, but to see if they exist. And when they discover a man whose boundaries are firm yet fair, they feel safe, respected, and irresistibly drawn to him. Why women respond to the inner citadel. This combination, inner and citadel, hits the deepest psychological needs women look for in men. 1. Security. The citadel provides protection, stability, and reliability. Women feel safe when they know you won't crumble under pressure. 2. Excitement. The inner work provides depth, curiosity, and growth. Women feel alive when they're with a man who continues to evolve and surprise them. Most men offer one or the other. They're either interesting but weak or strong but shallow. But when do you develop both? That's when magnetic masculinity is born. My test, Emma and the boundary check. I'll never forget when I met Emma. Our first date was electric. We talked for hours and I could feel that genuine spark of connection. But then came the test. One night, she started flirting with another man in front of me, waiting to see how I'd react. The old me would have gotten jealous, maybe even angry. But the man who had built his inner citadel, he stayed calm. I looked her in the eye and said, "I'm looking for something meaningful. If you'd rather play games, I'm not the man for that." Her reaction? Instant respect. She later admitted, "You're the first guy who didn't get rattled by it. That made me see you differently." That's the magnetic power of the inner citadel. It's not about controlling her. It's about controlling yourself. It's about showing that your standards are non-negotiable and that your worth doesn't depend on anyone else's approval. Practical steps to unlock magnetic masculinity. So how do you apply this ancient wisdom in your own life? 1. Build your inner fortress. Start with daily reflection. Journal your values. Ask, am I living according to my standards or am I seeking approval? Practice emotional regulation. Next time something irritates you, breathe. Respond calmly instead of reacting. 2. Define your citadel. Write down your non-negotiables. What behaviors will you not accept in yourself or others? Practice saying no, not aggressively but firmly. Every time you uphold a boundary, you strengthen your fortress. 3. Integrate inner plus citadel. Be curious and open in conversation. Inner. But don't compromise your principles, citadel. Be compassionate and attentive, inner. But remain selective about who earns your time. This balance creates the masculine energy that women can't resist, strength wrapped in depth, stability infused with passion. Why this works everywhere in life. Here's the beauty. These two words don't just unlock magnetic masculinity with women. They elevate every area of your life. In business, colleagues and clients respect you because you're dependable yet dynamic. In friendships, people trust you because you're consistent yet authentic. In your own soul, you feel grounded because your worth no longer fluctuates with external approval. This is why Marcus Aurelius's philosophy has survived for centuries. It's not just about attraction. It's about living as a complete, powerful, grounded man. Magnetic masculinity isn't something you fake. It isn't a script or a performance. It's the natural byproduct of two words, inner citadel. When you master your inner world, women feel your depth. When you guard your citadel with clear boundaries, women feel your strength. And when you combine the two, you become the rare man who embodies both excitement and security. That's the man women crave. That's the man stoicism shapes you into. And that's the man you have the power to become, starting today. And that's really the heart of it, my friend. True attraction doesn't come from chasing approval, playing games, or performing tricks. It comes from building your inner citadel, that unshakable core of self-mastery and clear boundaries that makes you both deeply interesting and undeniably strong. If there's one takeaway from today, it's this. Women and people in general are drawn to men who know who they are, where they're going, and what they stand for. When you embody that, you don't have to convince anyone to choose you. You simply become the kind of man worth choosing. I want to take a moment to say thank you for spending your time with me today. I don't take it lightly. You're not just viewers. You're part of a growing community of men dedicated to rediscovering timeless strength through Stoic wisdom. If this message resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe and join us on this journey. Hit the like button if you found value here, and share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one of them, and your stories inspire not just me, but other men walking the same path. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.